joined by one of the most handsome guests to ever grace the set of AM to DM. He's here, ladies and gentlemen, actor John Cho. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
What's it like being so handsome?
It's rough.
Oh, it's
unexpectedly rough. There's a lot of touching, unwanted touching. And adulation has its dark side, Isaac.
Can you speak a little bit more about that?
Can't.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to take it to a tough. Oh. I'm so sorry. Let's move now to searching. You know, I understand handsome is a difficult topic for you, and I understand that being so handsome must be hard. Searching is a great film. You stuck with a bit, man. I was gonna keep doing it.
That was a very nice transition.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Searching.
Searching, fantastic film, and it all unfolds on screens.
Yeah.
What were some of the difficulties of shooting that?
Well, it was weird. It was sort of the almost the end of the road of green screen shooting. I was looking at a blank laptop, and so much of the movie, almost like an animated movie, was created after we finished photography. But it was an ingenious idea that initially I was really hesitant to join, but it was answering this question, like what all this drama we are living within these screens, and so scenes that would normally happen on a couch, are now sort of happening inside these devices, and so how do you dramatize it? And the movie took that head on.
And ran with it. So you were acting against like a blank laptop, like you were just like looking at a blank screen a lot of the time while you're doing all the acting, which is incredible. You mentioned that you were hesitant to take on the role. What made you overcome that hesitation?
Well, I said no, and then Anish Chaganty, the director, came back at me, and he said he wrote it for me, and we sat down. He brought his laptop and showed me things that he intended to do, and really, what I had loved the script because it was as unusual as the format is. It's a very classic thriller. But I was nervous about telling it on screens. But he said what he impressed upon me was how cinematic it was going to be. And you see, it could have been a static thing, but the computer becomes the camera. It tracks and zooms and all this stuff. So we had that assurance. I just really liked him and wanted to work with him. So I said, let's do it, and I'm glad I did.
And it did. It paid off. I'm seeing some people calling it almost a whole new genre. So in the movie, you're searching for your daughter.
Yes.
And you find out that she online is a much different person than she is in real life.
Right.
Do you relate to that at all? Is there a part of you that feels like your public persona is a lot different than your private persona?
Sure. I mean, I guess I'm. If there were a service that destroyed laptops after you died, I would sign up for that.
just like you go flatline and then like 5 old laptops explode.
An unmarked van comes to my house, steps over my cadaver, and then sets all my devices on fire.
Do they don't check for a heartbeat or nothing? No, laptop first.
No. There's a
That's amazing. Do you feel like, I mean, you're on Twitter a lot though. You talk politics all the time. Is that true to your personality?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a need sometimes to shout, and it's the best place to do that is online. It is interesting, I think the movie explores the question: are you the real you online, or is that the version of you give to the world? I mean, I think it's a blend of both. But yeah, I mean, the parental nightmare that the movie explores is, my daughter goes physically missing, and then he has the double tragedy of finding out that once he goes into her computer to look for clues, that she was gone long before she went missing, and figures out that he really didn't know his daughter. And there is a weird intimacy that people have with their devices where they sort of give of themselves to strangers what they wouldn't to family members.
To somebody face to face. And speaking of that, you did recently tweet Since it seems we are so much more likely to be civil face-to-face, let's have more discourse in person. Trying to urge kind of more IRL discussions. Can you talk to me a little bit? Is there someone you've spoken to recently who you haven't agreed with?
You know, I guess that tweet was almost to myself. It was like, I do feel that people are, there is, online discourse, for some reason it encourages avariciousness in a way that people tend not to be when they're looking at each other in the eyes. Mm-hmm. And I find that people, it is our instinct to find commonality when looking at another member of the human species. Mm-hmm. And when removed from them via the device, people are much more likely to be mean, and I don't know if we're going to get to resolving these issues that we have as a country if we're not looking at each other as people. So I
doing
keep
more
doing
of
this. Yeah.
No, I like that. I mean, more of this. More
of this.
Again, it's like I said, it's a handsome face.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Listen,
and I'm gonna throw this screen over here. I can't, man. You keep blocking me out. One of those discussions, though, one of those issues, and you've been so vocal about it, is representation in media and movies. Yeah. And this summer we've got Searching, we've got Crazy Rich Asians, we've got Sandra Oh getting the Emmy nom, we've got Jenny Han's book, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, is now going to be a Netflix movie. Does it feel like the landscape is shifting?
It's funny. I was saying to someone last night that I do feel like things are shifting, and I didn't feel like that even 5 years ago, but I think it's less to do with casting than it has to do with creators and people.
Can you speak more on that?
Well, I don't think that the answer, I think the Hollywood answer was, we'll put this Chinese star in this action movie. Mm-hmm. Are you happy now? Mm-hmm. And what I'm seeing right now is, Anish Chaganty, who's the writer-director of my film, saying, I am going to write this and it's going to be an Asian character and there's not going to be any explicit reason for him to be Asian. The Jenny Han people who are writing novels, this is, we are creating the content mm-hmm. and not being cast. So it's not. So it becomes less about representation and more about expression.
Less about representation and more about expression. Thank you so much, John Cho. I really appreciate you sitting down and talking with me. I would like to express myself. You are extremely handsome. This has been a wonderful 7 minutes just staring into those beautiful brown eyes. Listen, Searching hits theaters August 24th, and we're going to be right back with fire tweets if I'm not just like melting. Absolute pleasure.